What's the real difference between men who command respect from women and the weak masses who get ignored? Listen carefully, because I'm about to reveal 5 psychological triggers that separate the winners from the losers in the game of attraction and influence. You see, most men are completely lost when it comes to understanding female psychology. They're throwing money at women, buying gifts, acting like puppets, and getting absolutely nowhere. Why? Because they don't understand the fundamental principles of emotional influence. Today, I'm going to show you 5 specific points, 5 powerful triggers that will completely transform how women respond to you. This isn't some basic dating advice. This is advanced psychological warfare that's going to revolutionize your understanding of female attraction. The first point is what I call emotional authority. You need to understand something fundamental. Women are drawn to men who can maintain emotional stability under pressure. It's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about being the mountain that doesn't shake in the storm. When everyone else is losing their heads, panicking, getting emotional, you remain calm, collected, and in control. This isn't just attractive, it's absolutely magnetic to women. They instinctively recognize and respect this kind of emotional power. Most men completely mess this up. They get emotional, they react, they lose frame. But a real man understands that emotional stability is the foundation of everything. When she's testing you, and she will test you, your emotional strength becomes your greatest weapon. The second point is strategic mystery. Average men are like open books, desperate to share everything. But mystery creates intrigue. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding that women are naturally drawn to what they can't fully grasp. Don't tell her everything. Don't be available 24/7. Create space for her imagination to work in your favor. When you master this, she'll be thinking about you even when you're not around. That's real influence. The third trigger is dynamic presence. Look around. Most men are energetically dead. They shuffle through life with no spark, no fire, but women are naturally attuned to energy. When you walk into a room, your presence should be felt. This isn't about being loud or obnoxious. It's about carrying yourself with purpose and power. Every movement, every word, every gesture should communicate strength and intention. When you master this, women will feel your energy before you even speak. The fourth point is emotional momentum. You need to understand that women's emotions work like waves. They build, peak, and fall. Most men try to fight this natural rhythm. Big mistake. Instead, you learn to ride these waves, to direct them. When she's happy, you amplify it. When she's uncertain, you provide clarity. But here's the key: you never get caught in her emotional storms. You stay above them, directing the flow. This is what separates the weak from the strong. And now, the fifth and most powerful trigger, intellectual dominance. I'm not talking about being a know-it-all. I'm talking about having such a strong grasp of reality that your perspective becomes her anchor. When you speak, your words carry weight because they're backed by unshakable conviction. Most men fail here because they're mentally weak. They let society program their thoughts. They repeat what they hear like parrots. But a real man develops his own understanding of the world. He thinks independently, and this intellectual strength becomes irresistibly attractive to women. Let me break down where most men go completely wrong. They think being nice is enough. They think buying gifts and agreeing with everything she says will win her over. Absolute nonsense. These mistakes cost men everything. They chase, they beg, they compromise. And what do they get? Nothing but disrespect. A woman needs to feel that you understand her emotional world while remaining completely unshaken by it. Here's the breakthrough moment most men never reach. When you master these 5 points: emotional authority, strategic mystery, dynamic presence, emotional momentum, and intellectual dominance, You create an unshakable foundation of influence. It's not about manipulation. It's about becoming a man who naturally commands respect. Think about this. Every time a woman tests you, she's actually begging you to prove your emotional strength. When you maintain frame, when you stay solid as a rock while everyone else crumbles, that's when real attraction builds. The Matrix wants you to be weak. It wants you to believe that being an emotional pushover makes you a good guy. But ask yourself, do women actually respect these so-called good guys? Or do they respect men who understand the true nature of female psychology? Here's what's crucial. When you combine all 5 points, you create an unstoppable force of attraction. The first point, emotional authority, sets the foundation. The second, strategic mystery, creates the intrigue. The third, dynamic presence, commands attention. The fourth, emotional momentum, maintains control. And the fifth, intellectual dominance, cements your position of power. Let me tell you what happens when you master this system. Women start pursuing you. They sense something different about you. While other men are desperately trying to prove themselves, you stand apart, emanating strength and certainty. You become what I call an emotional architect. You don't just respond to situations, you create them. You don't just participate in conversations, you direct them. This is the level of influence that separates the elite from the average. Remember this, a woman's attraction isn't based on what you say, it's based on how you make her feel. When you master these 5 points, you create feelings that no other man can replicate. This is where most men get trapped in their own weakness. They learn these principles, but fail to apply them consistently. They have one good interaction and think they've mastered everything. Pathetic. Real mastery comes from understanding the deeper truth. These 5 points aren't just techniques. They're a complete transformation of who you are as a man. When you truly embody these principles, they become as natural as breathing. Think about the most powerful men throughout history. Did they beg for attention? Did they chase validation? No. They understood the fundamental truth about female psychology. Women are naturally drawn to men who embody these 5 qualities. But here's what separates the winners from the losers. Consistency. You can't just switch these traits on and off like some amateur. You have to become these principles. When you wake up, when you sleep, when you're working, when you're relaxing, these 5 points become your natural state of being. Now, this is what separates those who will dominate in relationships from those who will remain weak and ignored forever. These 5 psychological triggers: emotional authority, strategic mystery, dynamic presence, emotional momentum, and intellectual dominance are your weapons in the war of attraction. When you master these points, you'll notice something incredible. Women will start qualifying themselves to you. They'll sense your power. They'll feel your influence without you saying a word. That's the level of mastery I'm talking about. Want to prove what I'm saying? Try this. Start applying these principles tomorrow. Watch how women respond differently to you. Watch how they sense the shift in your energy, in your presence, in your entire being. But don't just take my word for it. I want you to test this system yourself. Drop a comment below sharing your experiences with these 5 points. Which one resonates most with you? Which one do you need to work on? Subscribe to this channel if you're ready for more hard truths about female psychology and relationship dynamics. Hit that notification bell to never miss another video about mastering your relationships and becoming the type of man women naturally gravitate toward. Remember, the world is full of weak men who will never understand these principles. But you're different. You're here because you're ready to step up and become exceptional. Now go out there and apply what you've learned. The results will speak for themselves.